Have you ever experienced a hurricane? I've been through many, but nothing prepared me for Helene. Today, I'll tell you how I failed at hurricane prep and what I learned in the process. Hurricanes can bring flash flood rains, damaging winds, and even tornadoes. The most important thing you can do to prep is to evacuate. I know it sucks, and I would be one of the grumpy people leaving. However, in my area, if we had known the outcome, a lot more lives would have been saved with a wide-scale evacuation. If you can't evacuate, assess your situation. Here in the Appalachian Mountains, we have millions of trees, which become poles of destruction during strong winds with soggy soil. I experienced those weather conditions during Hurricane Fran that hit Wilmington, North Carolina in 1996. A lot of trees were lost and fell on homes and power lines. Considered a 1,000-year storm, Helene decimated western North Carolina with landslides that claimed many lives. If you live in a floodplain, near or on a steep slope, then evacuation is the only safe answer. If you have to stay, a local shelter can be the safest choice. They are usually strong buildings with lots of space where supplies can be brought in. In our area, the local schools were used for shelters for several weeks with airdrops of food, water, and other supplies. So you've decided to hunker down and ride out the storm. Usually the first thing to go is the power. In our case, it was all communications, cell and internet. Then the power went out a few hours later. One thing we forgot about was an ancient device known as the radio. The radio would end up being one of the biggest life-saving devices one could have. With all communications lost, the radio was the only source of information connecting us to the outside world. A cure for those uncertainty blues.
We're here connecting the community. This is iHeartRadio Asheville's continuing coverage of rescue and recovery efforts from Tropical Storm Helene.
The radio personalities proved to be both informative and emotionally supportive for the citizens in the area. I now have a hand-crank NOAA radio, so that I will never be left wondering. Not knowing information after a disaster is one of the hardest things to endure, and can leave you with a sense of anxiety. Prepare yourself to be cut off from information for at least 3 to 5 days. Even radio stations get damaged, and it takes time to get them back up and running. You already know about buying cases of water in the bottles at the store, but how long will that last? Not as long as you think. Ironically, water played a big role in the destruction of Western NC, but it was also hard to find a clean source for use after the storm. Floodwaters can be very contaminated and not the best source. It was over a month later before the water was safe to use in Asheville. Plan ahead and start filling up everything you own that can hold water. Bathtubs are a great source. Just make sure you have a strong seal so that the water doesn't slowly leak out on you. We filled up washed out cat litter containers, which provided about 2 toilet flushes per container. Yep, flushing toilets is not discussed much, but vitally important. And it takes a lot of water. Toilets can use roughly 2 to 5 gallons per flush, so plan accordingly. You will need water for drinking, hand washing dishes and/or clothes, and bathing. Pro tip: fill up a new pump sprayer with clean water to use for sponge baths. Along with water, you will need food. If the power goes out for 6 hours or longer, then most everything in your refrigerator is trash and will make you sick to eat. When a storm is inevitable, concentrate on eating refrigerated items first. Bread will last about a week, and without the refrigerator, vegetables will spoil faster. These are first-use items as well. Canned goods are your friend. They can last longer than you will need, zombie apocalypse being the only exception. An outdoor grill is a great tool to have in this situation, and it can be used to boil water, heat up soups, cook meat, eggs, and even frozen pizzas. Try to have enough canned goods for 1 to 2 weeks or even longer. It may be a while before grocery stores open back up. Once the sun goes down, it will become very dark. Have plenty of candles with matches or lighters on hand, as well as flashlights with fresh batteries. Gas and cash. 2 very important things to acquire are gas and cash. Power outages kept many gas stations in the dark. The ones that had power did not have internet and only accepted cash, with long lines that seemed to appear out of nowhere, quickly depleting the gas. I now keep a few cans of gas on hand that I cycle through the mower. Grocery stores had the same issue, with long lines and no internet to accept cards at the registers, so make sure you have a couple of $100s in cash stored away. It's good to have a first aid kit and medical supplies on hand for everyday use, but make sure you have them nearby for when a storm is on the way. Make sure that your local search and rescue groups, police, sheriff, and fire departments are well funded, because they will be the ones who will be rescuing you. Depending on the topography and severity of the storm, it may be a while before you are rescued. 20 people were recently rescued over a month after the storm. Due to the destroyed roads, many rescues were performed by private helicopter pilots. Mental health is very strained during disasters. The most popular recommendation is to discuss what you're going through with someone. If you are by yourself, call the radio station. Ours help thousands of listeners, if not more, to get through a very rough time. Survivor guilt is also very common, very normal, and okay to experience. Volunteering is the best remedy. It's a win-win. So to recap, this is what I now do differently to prepare. Evacuate if necessary. Seek safe shelter if staying for the storm. Obtain a hand crank NOAA radio to stay informed. Get supplies. Candles with matches and/or lighters. Flashlights with fresh batteries. Canned food with a can opener. Water. Lots of water. Gas and cash for additional food and gas. I hope this video helps you prepare for nature's fury. There are still a lot of misplaced families in the Appalachian area that are in desperate need for assistance. We are NC Strong, but we can also use all the help we can get. If you'd like to donate to helping the victims in Western North Carolina, please contact the charity groups listed below. Many states were affected by Hurricane Helene. Please also keep them in mind for donations and volunteering. Thanks for watching, and please stay safe.